Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live at 11:36 a.m. on a Tuesday, May 18th. Well, between the weekend and what went on yesterday, and really what's going on today, the contradictory price action, it's not trivial. Um, it's quite meaningful. And I find myself in a situation where it's obviously it substantiates the entire narrative I've been talking about for the last, must be a month and a half, 2 months at this point. Um, to the point where it's tantalizing and refreshing, not just to be validated, to have a narrative validated is satisfying, lucrative, but it's worthwhile to discuss. And I want you guys to understand it as well. So obviously today we'll rehash things that we've been talking about, things that the stories that I've been explaining and describing, and this will play into how things are going to play out over the next couple months towards the end of the year. I think things are changing in a big way. And the interesting thing is, we'll look at the charts. We'll look at obviously we'll look at the charts. How are we not going to look at the charts with what's going on? But I think this plays into you know the regular economy as well. Let's hit this. Ethereum L1 and L2 logical roadmap changes. Today's episode is sponsored by Change Angel, the non-custodial swap exchange for social goods. Stop depositing on exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto, non-custodial, DeFi, or nothing at all. Bam! Let's pop it over to the main screen and see who's in the stream. Tyler's in the house. Whoa, hitting me with the questions off the bat. How do I put Bitcoin to work? I hold it on Coinbase. You can't do anything reasonable on Coinbase. They rehypothecate your assets and you have no control. WBTC to Aave via MetaMask or Bitcoin to hardware wallet, then what? Everything belongs in a hardware wallet. Not your keys, not your crypto. That's how I start the stream every day for the last year and a half. You got to be in control. You got to be your choices, not an exchange's or a company's choices. Hardware wallets integrate with MetaMask, particularly Ledger. That's the first step. Get your assets onto a hardware wallet. Protect your keys, protect your mnemonics, your seed phrases, back up, secure your operations, take responsibility and your own custody for your assets that are non-confiscatable. It's a big deal. And then there's obviously the entire story of what I talk about. You can look into DeFi Dad and Bankless HQ for some more context. DeFi Dad has the tutorials, and obviously I tell the stories. Aaron's in the house, always a pleasure. Trevor, Sonny's in the house. The crypto bosses trying to fund ain't shit no more. Well, it's hitting Bitcoin pretty hard, but we're looking at the 30 men. All that matters really is the daily. Let it fall through. It'll hit the 200 SMA. Go to 39.38. It's a trivial drop from here. It's only one of a bunch of collateral assets. Bitcoin is awesome. I hold Bitcoin. We hold other things other than Bitcoin, and there are other assets that are useful as collateral. So this is a great asset. Look at all this value it has. I don't know how folks. Sometimes I don't know how to express the sentiment that I have. But point being, look at all this value that's here, and look at all this support. A retrace on price doesn't mean much. There's a huge amount of value in the network, and it's not just the price point. So if you buy Bitcoin and you're able to borrow, let's say let's say you have $200,000 worth. Here's the thing: if you have 200 grand worth of Bitcoin and you borrow 100 grand, oh, Bitcoin goes down in price. Okay, repay 25 grand, and now you can only borrow 75 grand. Woo! So you only put in 75 grand to work as a salary, as an employee. generating a salary. It's an extremely useful asset. It's a very valuable collateral asset. I can't do shit with a gold bar. Can't do shit with dollar bills. I can't do shit with a stock. I can't do anything. I can't borrow any money and put it to work. I can't generate a revenue stream. I can't operate it as a business. I can't turn it into a balance sheet. But I can with this particular asset. This is a valuable asset in a portfolio. So now the art is, how do you balance these collateral assets into a structured portfolio that the principal is more likely than less likely to appreciate. So if Bitcoin is depreciating relative to another collateral asset, you shift the capital over to the asset that's outperforming. Then Bitcoin starts to appreciate. And this is where you look at Matic versus Bitcoin. Maybe you do Aave denominated in Bitcoin. Maybe you do Bitcoin denominated in Aave. Maybe you do Matic denominated in Aave. Holy crap! It's all relative. So, you see where I'm going? You want to see some fun stuff? Watch this. My keyboard, right? Matic USDT divided by Aave USDT. Look, Matic denominated in Aave. And this chart will tell me whether I should shift capital over to Aave. Clearly not. It's significantly outperforming. And then you can look at Aave denominated in Ethereum, so on and so forth. So shift that collateral value around so the principal outperforms. Anyway, excuse me. Barry DGB in the house. Wave Mappers, always a pleasure. You guys are on fire today. Good morning, Noah. Can you please talk a bit about Polygon goals to move away from the current multi-sig governance? Yeah, well, they'll eventually have some sort of fascinating DApp or staking solution. I mean, they are. It's a proof of stake. Um, Maybe they just expand the multi-sig. But the whole point is that you should have a multi-sig. You should have some sort of control just in case there's emergencies to gain access to those types of contracts. They shouldn't be burned. So these keys shouldn't be burned. What if modifications are needed? So I'm sure what they're doing, Curve Finance is a multi-sig signer, and other very well known industry participants. They will iterate from where they are. They will improve the presentation. I mean, predominantly what I see right now is just public relations. There are very prominent persons involved with the project at this point, and it has beyond reached critical mass. So right now they're probably contemplating what's the best path forward. Chad's in the house. No, real talk. Discord at $40 a month is worth $10 a week. So stay for a week, take a week off. But I'm in there all day long. You guys are a blast. We are making good decisions. We are talking about things in a responsible, risk considerate fashion. We're talking about yield and revenue streams and allocation of capitals in a way that's not gambling. We're talking about money management. Basically, for instance, here's an interesting reality. You got financial advisors, and the SEC regulates them because they sell securities. They're literally selling you something, and meanwhile, most of them know jack shit about what they're selling. So for myself, it's a financial planner. What I talk about is money management and wealth management and how to structure things so that you're growing value. And obviously, it goes in hand with what I talk about on the stream, the stories that I tell about the markets. I don't sell any. I have no capacity to sell anything. It's not about that. So that's exactly what the Discord is. It's really a natural evolution of storytelling where now those stories come to life and we're able to discuss the execution and how and the strategies of what we could do with those stories in a real time way, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with one heck of a group of people. It's a big deal. You guys are fabulous. The crypto bosses, y'all are actually over my head, but yeah, but we're here, meaning You're welcome to ask any questions. I will not hesitate to answer any question. And everyone in the Discord forum answers everyone's questions. It's just an extraordinary group of people at this point. John McGuire's in the house. Max Savard, happy Matic Monday, everybody. And the charts are significantly outperforming. Holy crap. There's only one target in sight, and it's BNB. There's no reason this is going to stop until it hits number four. The narrative is just transformative at this point because it's Ethereum. The narrative for what's going on with Polygon and Matic is Ethereum. Um, Ethereum did what it did last summer in 2020 because it offered an alternative way to move capital and capital efficiency and the capacity to move money in a frictionless, cost considerate fashion is exactly why BSC took off. It's cheaper than Ethereum. But it wasn't Ethereum. It was a copy of Ethereum, EVM compatible. And there's a lot of EVM compatible chains. But what's so profound about what's going on with Matic and Polygon is that it is Ethereum. It uses Ethereum for consensus and data storage. And this is the L2 solution that has reached critical mass. There's a lot of L2 solutions, wonderful assets. Phantom, uh, um, it, well, then again, are these other just EVM compatible chains, or are they? I have to look more into that. But the point is, there's a lot of assets that have EVM compatible infrastructure, which should, in theory, be seamlessly interoperable with Ethereum L1, either consuming it directly for consensus purposes or indirectly, and maybe they have their own consensus mechanism. I don't know everything about all the other platforms. Avalanche, Solana, Phantom, well, Harmony One, those are things that are worthwhile to keep an eye on, but they don't have critical mass liquidity, as I often talk about. Arbitum, Optimism, ZK rollups, and the distinction between uh, side chains and other scaling solutions is not something I'm the most astute about, but it all really reduces to the topic that I kind of titled the stream about: is how this all evolves, and I think it's past the point um, that L2 solutions will take the limelight over Ethereum, a full Ethereum 2.0, whereas the L1 that you're accustomed to with Ethereum becomes faster and cheaper. I think that's irrelevant. I think L2s will take the capital will migrate to L2s, and Ethereum's going to repurpose itself for focusing on consensus, data storage, and capital efficiency and stuff like that. Or maybe the capital efficiency will be at the L2 level, and maybe not many transactions will occur at the L1 level anymore. And L1 will be strictly for like contract deployment or it's kind of like the engineering housekeeping of the various applications that exist on the network. Anyway, that was a lot of thoughts, and it's not entirely clear for me, but that's exactly why I wanted to title the stream this, so I could start talking about it and allow the narrative to evolve and the story to evolve. And as time goes on, it's going to be stronger and stronger, and I'll be able to express what I'm envisioning better and better. But yeah, we're at $2.30. We were at 70 cents a couple of days ago, and 30 cents a week before that. There's capital efficiency is through the roof. It's vertical. The capital, monetary velocity, the capital inflow. People are able to collateralize debt. They're able to borrow. They're to move money around and engage in financial activities with basically zero friction. This implementation right here on Polygon is far superior to BSC. It is a fraction of the cost, so you're able to do that much more. And the fraction of the cost BSC as compared to Ethereum is exactly why BSC took off with BNB's price, that is, because that's the transactional asset, and that's what's happening here. Anyway, that was a long answer to the crypto boss's statement. I, I I will try and be clearer at times. The crypto boss. John McGuire, good morning. Max, happy Matic Monday. Any interest in quick swap compared to Uni Pancake swap? Seems there's upside compared to market cap. It's off my radar right now. I don't have much interest. I use 1inch. They've always piqued my fancy. I like aggregators. I don't need to use a specific DEX, and I don't park capital on them anymore. I don't really engage in LP positions much. I'm much more into collateralization and lending capital. Treating the portfolio as a balance sheet, as I've been describing in my stories of late. Yeah, top five market cap, the crypto boss. I think so as well. I do, but that's my personal thought, and I have structured the portfolio accordingly. And don't get me wrong, when assets, the narratives change, it's appropriate to adjust. So if all of a sudden price action starts heading in the wrong direction, now you have to rethink the narrative. Is it invalidated? Is something significantly changing? And that's when you reallocate value that you've assigned the principal, and you adjust your collateral asset collection a little bit or a lot of it. Maybe you go from Matic to Ethereum. Maybe you go from Ethereum to Aave or Ethereum to Bitcoin. So there's four collateral assets on Polygon Aave. That's pretty much it. So it's Aave, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Matic. Hopefully there'll be some more, and then I could consider some more collateral assets to add to the balance sheet. Balance sheet. This is the story that Michael Saylor talks about. Yes. Can you shed some light on RSI indicators? Well, the MACD's all messed up on this chart. I gotta fix that. The RSI is useful. I don't trade. Folks are like, the RSI gets overbought, and they're like, I want to sell, and I've tried to force myself to stop looking at them. Like, look, this is extremely overbought, and MFI is volume weighted RSI, so this is overbought. It could go down. Any asset could go up and go down. These oscillators, the RSI, MFI, MACD, what have you, merely are reactionary to price action. Price action is what's happening. These trends that form in these indicators are in response to price action. So in the end, it's the price action. So that's all that matters. And what I like to think of is the price action, either validating or invalidating the story. And look, I literally have to scroll the screen down. Live on stream, this thing is just going $2.34. Wow. Wow. Incredible price action. Alternatives to Nexus, are they capped out of Aave insurance? Oh, yeah, insurance is important. Um, I don't have any right now. Aave is, if it walks and talks like a bank, it is a bank, and Aave has been performing incredibly. And Curve has proven itself. So my capital is at Aave and Curve. I have some capital elsewhere, and Bancor has proven itself, and Uniswap has proven itself, and I don't touch any of the other stuff. I do not touch anything with any meaningful amount of capital unless it's one of those majors. It's not worth it at all. Yeah. Wow, you guys are chatting. I lost you. I lost where I was looking. Check out DFYN. Yeah, gas. That's a big deal. The what was it? Who are they integrating with? Oh my God, was it Phantom? Gas across Matic and Ethereum. So DFYN is interesting. There's the other chains are close. Phantom is probably the closest because they already have Curve. What's needed is four steps. Critical mass liquidity drives the developers. The developers build the D apps. The D apps draw in the users, and the users create critical mass monetary velocity. So I won't touch any of them unless they have critical mass monetary velocity. So my eyes are on Harmony One, Phantom, Avalanche, and Solana. But I have no interest in them right now until they have like $2 billion, and you start to see people borrowing capital, and lending capital, and then you got critical mass liquidity, and then you have the birth of a financial system in many regards. Jackson, were you able to sort out the effect that DeFi activities has on taxes through token tax? Yeah, token tax does the deal. I paid them $2,500, and they'll get me taxes done by October of this year. I extended my taxes, and no big deal. If you extend your taxes, you don't even have to pay. It's 0.5% interest per month until October, and 0.5% interest per month. This is crypto. You could get 0.5% interest per month sleeping. Curb's paying out 30% per year. 0.5% interest per month. um, yeah, Yellow Mellow, heck of a day. Julian, what's up, Noah? How are you, brother? I'm okay. A little tired at the moment, but I'm okay. Yo, Daddy, no, any thoughts on Atom ecosystem and potential projects there? Yeah. So I was talking about Phantom, Solana, Avalanche, and Harmony One. Yeah, what are the ones that are really, really close? Polkadot and Cosmos and Kusama, obviously, but I'm not in Kusama. Holy crap, is that a hammer forming? That's crazy. If this thing closes a hammer in a minute and 45 seconds, that's crazy. Yeah, so Polkadot and Cosmos, I have a large position in Cosmos that I bought for like 10 grand, and now it's worth like 140 grand. So I like Cosmos very much. And Cosmos fits the China narrative, so that's a big deal. I've talked about Cosmos in China and the digital yuan and the BSN. Just saying. I like Cosmos, but most bullish on Matic, but listen to the Don. Yeah, they're all related. And what it comes down to, what assets you could put to work, and that's where the most amount of capital is warranted. So if you're applying to something else, there's opportunity cost. If I could earn 30, 40, 50% on my capital, that changes everything because that's compounding, and I could draw a salary from it and operating it like a balance sheet and a business. Put your capital to work so you don't have to. Um, The Jen, what's up, crypto fam? Stick to those fundamentals you've been learning from Noah. You'll navigate these rough seas to financial citadel. Yes, indeed. Ethereum's on the defensive, but it's still an invaluable collateral asset. Oh wow, did that thing just? No, that's Matic. So Matic's breaking out versus Aave. But let's go back to. I don't even remember what I was looking at. So it's Ethereum. Um, was that Bitcoin? Yeah, that was Bitcoin. USDT is what I was watching. Let me get my chart back. Oh, so Bitcoin looks fine. I mean, look at this. Look at that support. 2 days in a row that it hits support. I mean, that is basically looks to be ending as a. It's not a gravestone, but it's an inverted hammer in many regards, or an inverted spinning top. I don't know. It just looks bearish. But you know how much pressure it takes to push down through this 200 EMA? It takes a lot. It's one of the strongest EMAs. And then again, you got the 200 SMA just below it, a mere 3,000 below it. Allocate your capital accordingly. This isn't a big deal at all. And Aave looks really strong. It broke out for 5 minutes, and now it's sitting back below the previous all-time high, dollar denominated. So Aave's a heck of an asset. It's paying 16%. Folks are talking about dividends on like the stock market and whatnot, and we got crypto assets paying 16% interest. My fiance wants her money working for her. She earned around 700 Matic in the last month. Boom! Aaron! That's what we're talking about. Protect the principal. Focus on solid collateral assets that have purpose and meaning and have a strong narrative. Ethereum, Bitcoin, Aave, and Matic at this point on Polygon. Because then you can move your capital around. If there's ever a systemic issue with a collateral asset, you need to liquidate some to reduce risk exposure. You liquidate a little bit of capital. Okay. Can't be afraid to sell some assets if need be. Also, what about when Arbitrum comes into the fray? Cool. I look forward to Arbitrum. I like Loopring. Diversify. There's a whole lot of stuff, and all of this supports L1 Ethereum. And I think L1 Ethereum is not going to fully migrate to L2. It'll be in L1.5, and they're going to do proof of stake, and they're going to focus on consensus and become deflationary, and it's going to be a heck of an asset. And all the L2s are just going to keep going vertical, in my opinion. Yeah. Need the interop solutions. Have you heard of Key DAO and Polygon like a maker? Yeah, I've seen it. I stick to Aave. If I'm going to borrow capital, it's not going to be on a MakerDAO port or a novel MakerDAO. If MakerDAO ports, all here, listen, all I care about is whether it's a stable rate or an APR. I'll pay a premium for a stable interest rate. On Aave, I was paying premiums for stable, or I would choose MakerDAO. That's the way to go. Stable APR on your debt, and you lock in and you get your variable rate APR on your interest payments. So that increases the manageability of the portfolio. Squanchy's in the house. Always a pleasure. I don't know. That's a good question. Arbitrum versus Matic, which is more decentralized. I don't know. Where will you take profits on Matic? I take profits. I put capital to work. I don't take profits. I take profits in the form of interest. I move collateral assets around to the from assets that are underperforming to assets that are outperforming, and there's always an asset that's outperforming. People getting alpha likes. We can do better. 71 people in the stream, 26 likes. Oh, we can do better. Do better, folks. We can do better. 2.36 on Coinbase Pro. Yeah. Let's go back. Oh my God. $2.42. Extraordinary. No, it was a money printer. Thanks, John. Pulse will be a serious competitor to Matic. Maybe. I'm not interested at this time. Thanks. I went to business school, but it's been a while. Yeah, this is also the crypto space, so everything is really off the radar compared to anything in legacy finance. It's an educational experience, definitely. Bavin heard from Bankless team that Optimism is probably waiting to launch with a full suite of products. What happens to Matic if trading on Uniswap goes to $1? Uniswap goes to $1 or less per transaction. Well, Polygon is basically zero per transaction. What it does is it changes the narrative, and maybe more capital starts to stay in Ethereum and less capital inflow goes on to Matic. And in the process, you're shifting around your collateral assets, and you're going to make adjustments accordingly. That's the way you do these things. Starts on Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin starts to break out, you want to allocate your capital to Bitcoin. So shift around your principal assets and reallocate accordingly. 4 principal assets right now on Polygon. I'm operating on Polygon. No interest to operate on Ethereum with 125 GUI, 50, 75, $100 transaction fees. And listen, if you go into Optimism, you're still not on Ethereum. It's Optimism. It's Optimism versus something else. You know how you operate in Optimism? Just like you do Polygon. You go right here. You go to Optimism mainnet. It's the same exact thing. Same sequence of events. And Synthetics is great. It's been working with Optimism very nicely. Every UniV3 LP position is unique. How do we get a flavor for the yield and the pools? I don't know, and that's why I don't do it. I haven't been LPing. I'm more into Aave at this point. Rook narrative still holding, staking on BNT for a while, looking for a run into one of the more prevailing narratives, as you mentioned. Yeah, Rook narrative is solid. I'm just not interested in it right now. I see too much opportunity cost currently. Hey, Noah, could you show how you gain yield from your Bitcoin? DeFi Dad. DeFi Dad. Throw it over the REM bridge, throw it into MakerDAO, and you're able to borrow. and denominated RMBTC, pay 5% interest, throw the dollars on the curve, and keep your debt in dollars. Keep your debt in dollars. Do not risk debt. If your debt is in dollars, use the dollars. You can always repay the debt, and you're making a recurring revenue stream with minimized risk. Thank you, Tiki. 10K. That'd be nice. Appreciate it. Barry, how do I put my RMBTCs to work on Curve? DeFi Dad, tough choices. RMBTC on Curve is going to be like 5%, 3%, or whatever the heck they're throwing around. And even worse, that's max boost. So you need like 200 grand worth of Curve to get any decent yields. So probably easier to collateralize it and make it down and borrow the cash and put the cash to work on like a year in a convex finance at this point. Yellow Mellow got hacked, leaving his dollars on a Coinbase, and now he's a new man depositing on Aave and yield with stable coins. Ledger, don't keep anything on the exchanges. I don't trust them. I just off the radar. Look at this shit. It's off the screen. What's your time horizon for method advisor narrative? My time horizon's long past. I retain my positions. I have like 5 grand of each of them, and I don't even think about it much. If it happens, it happens. Advisor, missed, method, XTK. I got a couple bucks in that. Let's keep it going. I got to wrap up the streaming. You guys chit chat. You deserve 100 million subs. Thank you, Gia June. Appreciate it. I hope it helps, guys. We got to do things different because financial system is going through significant changes and it's under a lot of pressure. And we can do better. We can do better as a people, as a society. Too many people are under pressure and they're in financial distress, and they literally just go to work and then they cash a paycheck at a payday lender and they borrow against their money and they're in it's desperation. And all you have to do is accumulate a couple of dollars and you put your dollars to work and now you have a salary from your money. And then it's a leap of faith that that works, and that's the way the wealthy operate. The wealthy literally don't spend money. They borrow money. They have debt. They use the debt to operate businesses. The businesses service the debt. The businesses, a recurring revenue stream, pay the debt. So they're literally never spending any money. You're never spending principal. You never spend principal, and that's the deal. How long till Uniswap comes over? I don't know. I like Hayden. He has his own prerogatives. There's no deflationary pressures on Uni. It's barely a collateralizable asset in many regards. I guess Aave supports it on L1 Ethereum, but I think it's missing something. That, at least according to my fancy. Do you think Aave or Curve can make it to Phantom? Well, Curve is already on Phantom. Aave just needs to get over there, and then a little bit of a spark, and boom, you have the same thing that's happening with Matic that'll happen with Phantom as well. Thumbs up. We can do better. Buying Ledger on Amazon Safe? No. You go directly to ledger.com. Please be very careful and just go to ledger.com. Pellets. Hi, my man. Would you talk a little about convex? Convex is just yarn where the emissions are curved instead of compounded dollars. I didn't talk about it much, but I reduced it to a single sentence. Replay that sentence again. Curve emissions or compounded dollars? That's the question. 76 people in the stream, 31 likes. We can do better. Tuesday at 12:10 p.m., May 18th. As always, I thank everyone for joining. Consider the Discord. We got the same conversation that I got going right now. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Everyone making good decisions together. Everyone is telling people to have restraint or telling people to that it's okay to take on a little bit of risk and when that risk is appropriate to take the risk off. We're not gambling. We're value allocating and we're using our capital to generate revenue streams and we're doing things very differently. And believe me, there's a time when you liquidate and there's a time when you collateralize and operate things like a balance sheet. And is this thing still going up? Oh my God. Let's wrap up the stream. I wish you all a wonderful day. Tell everyone to subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.